global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news. Stay tuned. Hello guys, welcome back to our channel. We're so excited to have you again. Some few days ago when we were talking about the issue of giving you updates about the suspended EFCC boss Magu Ibrahim Magu, one of the content of that update was that the Nigerian Financial Intelligence Unit apartment was being broken into, and some of their computers that they use in keeping their vital documents were destroyed. But right now, the police have decided to go after those who are behind the whole act. And according to information that we've received, the CCTV camera had been able to pick 6 persons. And so amazingly that a police person is also involved or fingered as being behind the whole show. But however, let's look at the news in detail. Crack team from the Department of State Services, DSS, and the Force Criminal Investigation Department, FCID, of the Nigerian police have begun a manhunt for those involved in the burgling of the Office of Nigerian Financial Intelligence Unit, the central national agency that handled disclosures and intelligence in the financial sector. The office, located at number 12 Ibrahim Taiwo Street, Asu Villa, was allegedly burgled last Thursday night. It was, however, discovered on Friday morning when the suspected burglars broke in. At least 7 computers containing sensitive financial information were reportedly taken away, while others were damaged. It was learned by the listener that the key mastermind of the burglary, a serving chief superintendent of police, was on the run as security operative intensified effort to apprehend him and his co-travelers. It was learned that the break-in was caught on camera. At least 6 persons were involved. They were caught by a CCTV camera. Detectives are on their trail after watching the footage, a source disclosed. The office was attacked after the presidential panel probing the suspended acting chairman of the Economic and Financial Crime Commission, EFCC, Ibrahim Magu, requested for the transaction history of a Kaduna-based Bureau de Change, BDC. The panel was told that the BDC, which allegedly had linked to Magu, recently transacted businesses worth over 500 billion naira in different currency, 336 billion naira, $435 million, and 14 million euros. Magu is facing a charge of mismanagement and lack of transparency in managing recovered assets, as well as disobeying directives and court order. He has been in detention since last week, after he was compelled by security operatives who accosted him at the EFCC annex in Wose 2 and escorted him to the Aso Rock venue of the ongoing probe. Undeterred by the his, the presidential panel is continuing its investigation and has submitted more persons to appear before it in its bid to get to the root of the weighty allegation against Magu. Among them are staffs of the EFCC and others who were privy to how Magu managed the anti-graft agency. A former director of finance in the commission is among those expected to testify before the panel, which enters its 2nd week today. The former director was transferred to the parent ministry by Magu for some yet to be ascertained reasons. It was, however, learned that the director had been at loggerheads with him before the transfer. A source said, and I quote, that the former finance director was on secondment from the ministry. His stay at the commission was turbulent as they never had it smooth with Magu. He was bundled out of the commission by Magu 3 days before he was forced out himself. The panel had also called for all the files of PEDs, that's politically exposed persons, and major contractors since Magu took over the leadership of the commission. Some operatives of the EFCC who are referred to as Magu boys are expected to face the panel today. During the interrogation, they are expected to present files containing details of politically exposed people. They are also expected to bring files on major projects and contractors. Embattled Magu has also applied for bail, is also to testify before the panel today alongside his boys. Other operatives will also appear before the panel today. They are expected to give their own account of what transpired in the EFCC during the turbulent reign of Magu as acting chairman. Magu has again been accused of failing to give proper account of 332 out of the 836 recovered real estate property in March 2018. He's also accused of turning EFCC into a glorified police station. The allegations were contained in a report submitted to President Muhammadu Buhari by one of the investigative committees set up to look into the activities of the EFCC under Magu. According to the report, Magu has continued seconding police officers to the EFCC in spite of the massive recruitment of officers and men carried out by the commission in recent years. The blatant display of arrogance and acquisition of illicit wealth has turned the EFCC into a glorified police station. Despite massive recruitment of officers and men in recent years by the suspended acting chairman at the EFCC, he is still seconding police officers to the EFCC because he is comfortable with his fellow officers to carry out his illicit activity. He does not have any exit strategy for the police, even though the EFCC officers are more experienced in the investigation of economic and financial crimes, the report further noted. The Inspector General of Police, Muhammad Adamu, had on Friday ordered the withdrawal of mobile policemen attached to Magu, who is held at the Area 10 Force Criminal Investigation Department, FCID, Abuja. Wow. It's really, it's going the way most Nigerians have been expecting, especially looking at the issue of the NFIU. When we heard the story, at first it seemed it was alleged, but then later on they opened up that actually it had happened. One of the questions that most people had asked is that, was, why is it that computers would just be left open without such important information being stored up in a storage device? It was a big question. And most people were like, CCTV should have been available at least to be able to capture in a very secret place so that you can capture any entry or exit of anyone into the units. And to God be the glory, there was CCTV there, and right now we are hoping that our DSS will get to the root of the matter, especially being that the whole thing was masterminded by a superintendent of police, a chief superintendent of police who is already at the run right now. Nigerians have reacted to this, and I'm going to read some of the reactions of Nigerians. And this one says, a serving CSP, that's chief superintendent of police, involved. The length these people can go just to cover their nyash when breeze blow open. They can't set the NFIU office on fire just the way they normally set federal agencies on fire just to cover the dubious track. Now they resort to burgling and cutting away computers. And to think a saving CSP is actively involved, even the military is not left out, because when Lance Corporal Martin tried to blow open military Ogas Nyash, they caught and killed him to cover the dubious track too. Brother, now you serve you. And this one says here, for the fact that NFIU office, which is located inside Aso Rock, could be easily burgled, means that the place is not well secured. This means that the military or any gang of gunmen can also easily gain entry into the presidential villa and overthrow the president if they so desire. I don't think that's true. But however, we are hopeful that for our president, they are protecting him well. This one says here, a whole CSP. People will lose their lives on this matter. Powerful men who Magu had worked for or with will do anything to silence anyone who will blow their cover. Unfortunately, they are men powerful enough that will walk into Aso Rock and negotiate their way out. Up till today, APC and PDP have not been able to solve the Boko Boys crisis, not because we can't, but because men bigger than both parties are in charge of this country. Looters from APC and PDP are still walking around free and PDP didn't do anything about it. APC is also doing selective prosecution. As long as you are at peace with the present government, you are untouchable. If you are here and you are not paid a dime for supporting APC or PDP, or you simply support because you must choose one of the big parties, your life will experience what these corrupt parties have meted out on poor Nigerians. The insecurity is now so bad that Aso Rock can be broken into, and people here think we have a government for the people, by the people. A lot of Nigerians are talking, but let's just leave all of this and look at this issue critically. It's really heartbreaking when you hear things like this happen. I've always said it that corruption is almost like a system thing. Whenever you see someone in a particular environment stay too long refusing to let go of that position, even when compromising issues come up, then you know the person is corrupt. At one point, if this kind of office was in the United States of America, you hear people resigning. You can hear a man of integrity, although I don't really know how to, it is the director of finance, but I believe that he may have had some integrity in him, and when certain things were about to be done, the man refused it because he understands what will happen in the nearest future. Guess what? In Nigeria, let's be so real, no one is really above the law. At one point or the other, a Pharaoh that knows not Joseph would take over. And you will see most of them, their nyash will be open, just like one of those commentators rightly say. I believe that with what DSS have started doing right away, we are going to get to the bottom line of this issue and get it solved once and for all. And I'm troubled because those documents that they have carted away, the next thing, when they know that they are hunting for them, they want to destroy it. First of all, let it be destroyed. So no matter how you're going to drill them and whatever you're going to do to them, but at least there are no evidence to prove what the NFIU had said. But however, we'd like to leave it there and keep praying for this country, because I think that's the only way this country can turn out to become what we